With the state of the world as it is, it feels like the people are losing hope and have a sense of impending doom. Can you speak to that?
It's not the first time in history. They would have felt that before, or in the lead up to the wars and during the wars, and at times after the wars as well, and certainly during Cold War. So on a global perspective, it's a well-known phenomena. And it comes from, I don't have any control and I don't know whether I can cope. So they become very unsure. But let's bring it down to the personal. And what we would like to talk about is how people, individuals, have a sense of impending doom in their life. Not necessarily because of global forces or government actions. They just feel that there's doom coming. That can come from a whole range of factors. We'll start with one, and that is for people like Pearl or I, we know what every day is going to be like as soon as we wake up. So that's a good thing if it's a good day. It's not a good thing necessarily if it's not going to be a good day. We could go through that day with a sense of impending doom or not. We chose the not. And we don't because we have a firm belief that whatever's going to happen will happen and we'll be able to face it and deal with it. So therefore it doesn't cause us any problem or any sense of doom's coming. Now we take that to other people who don't know what their day is coming or going to be, but their life has been full of so many negatives and events that they've taken a view that bad's going to happen, and bad, which they'll call doom. They don't believe they can deal with it, they're sick of it, they want a break, they want something to change, and it's not fair. So therefore they get lost in the negativity of what they perceive as an impending doom, or in reality another impending doom, because in their life it's a pattern. But it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, because the less they change, the less they do about it, and the less they change their behaviours and their patterns, the more certain the same things will happen to them. So the more doom will come. That feeling will be with people who don't really want to change, who think it's unfair that things are happening to them in their life, and it all should be done for them. That's the issue. If they don't take some action for themselves, if they don't set about a long process of change and finding why they're here, because remember, we all come for a reason, we come for a purpose, and that purpose might be small, that purpose might be big. If we're off purpose, well then there's always going to be a sense of doom.
When you wake up in the morning and know what's going to happen, if it is a day that is a little bit more off, do you change any of your behaviour? I
tried, and there were times I would get through a day and it'd be 9 o'clock at night and I'd say, yay, it didn't happen, then 10 o'clock it happens. So it's futile. So we've come to believe and accept that feeling as being accurate, and then we just face it as it comes. Earlier in the day it comes, the better for us.
Are you sometimes also pleasantly surprised when you think it's, or maybe this is me with impending doom, if I get a feeling it's going to be one of those days and then I get to the end and something did happen but it wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be?
If it's meant to happen and it's meant to happen for whatever reason, it's going to happen. So it's just a question of what does it make me do? It makes me more vigilant. I look and anticipate where it's coming and just deal with it when it comes. In all of these topics that we're covering, Carla, you will see that there is a commonality, and that is all about have faith, have faith, have faith. Everything that's meant to happen to you is going to happen. You can't stop it happening. And a lot of bad things that do happen to you because of your own actions. You've caused them. So the commonality is introspect on your behaviour and what you're doing and what you're causing in your own life, and deal with the things that are going to happen, deal with the things that are reality, and just have a faith, have a faith, have a belief in spirit, have a self-confidence in self that You're going to get through it, that you can cope. It's just a matter of making a plan. You can cope. You might have to call on support, you might have to call on expertise, but that's okay. You will get through it, you will cope. Everything is solvable. There's an answer to everything.
Last night, a message that I was given was nearly if you're going too narrow or in the weeds, so to speak, and so I've lost perspective. And so that idea of zooming back out and seeing the bigger picture in many respects is all it often needs as well, which is have faith.
It is. In a reading, a reading starts, and it's the most important part of a reading, giving people an understanding in the big picture of who they are and why they are, what are their patterns, what's working and what's not working. And people will come out of that and they'll say that's good or that's not so good. But it's all irrelevant if they do nothing, because they're not changing unless they change the patterns that are causing things. I've had people, and one person immediately springs to mind, on their 5th visit over about 4 years. At the start of the reading, started to ask me some questions, and I said, what's the point? In the last 4 readings, you've done nothing. You've changed nothing and your life hasn't changed. All of the same problems you had, you still have. They're self-repeating in a slightly different way. Go away and see if you want to change those things. If you don't, I can't help. That person's never been back.
And nor should they.
No, they wouldn't
Because
have
they
changed.
clearly didn't want to change.
For more spiritual knowledge, remember to subscribe. If any of the information Ian and Pearl spoke about piqued your interest, make sure you like and comment on this video below. There's so much knowledge and advice being delivered from Spirit to you via this channel. Healing your physical and emotional pains will guide you towards a more loving and meaningful life. This is the Spiritual Renaissance.